Hello, my chaotic goblin family. How is everybody doing tonight? So today we're gonna be working on Leafeon some more. As soon as I get music going, that feels loud. All right. Hi, Nana. How you doing? Um, So I have been working like crazy to keep getting more of the version 2 patterns made. And then today I was like, oh crap, it's almost the end of February and I still haven't made any patterns to put out for March for my patrons. So I literally sat down and made 4 brand new patterns today. So I'm tired a little bit because I've been sitting in front of my tablet all day making patterns for hours. Basically, like as soon as I was done doing homeschool with the kids earlier, I literally was like making patterns all day. But I think I did one of them yesterday. I did one of them yesterday and I did the other 3 today. So I sat and I made like 3 new patterns today. It was a lot. But they are, all 4 of them are ready to be released in March, on March 1st. And the theme for March is spring. Because this was my first time living somewhere where there's actually like winter. And so I'm, I get to be excited about spring for the first time. So I'm leaning hard into that. So if anyone has any guesses as to which 4 I chose to represent spring, go ahead and share with me. I'm curious to see what you guys would pick as spring Pokemon. Anyway, Creations of a Moonchild, hello, how are you doing? Attention, hi. Hi, Kaylee, how you doing? Creations, thank you. Yeah, busy day. She didn't literally sit, she hovered as the kids rampaged through the house. I did not. I did not, sir. They didn't, they kind of rampaged. No, they were actually really good today. Yesterday they were rampaging. Like I said, this whole week so far, I've been just making patterns like crazy, and normally I don't make this many patterns in a month, but because I'm working on version 2 and trying to like get all of the version 2s done for the patterns that I've already created so I can push all of those out at the same time, I've been spending like every spare moment making patterns. So there's that. And then I always try and carve out about a half hour or so before bedtime, sometimes an hour if I can manage it, but at least a half an hour to read before I go to bed every night, because that's important to me, is to keep reading. But because I've been making sure to carve out the time to do some reading and stuff too, so my reading goal, I think we've talked about this before on some of the lives, and I know I've mentioned it in at least one TikTok video. My reading goal for the year is 50 books. It is not the end of February yet, and I finished 11 already. So I may have underestimated my goal again, which is fine. I much prefer like blowing a goal out of the water, but like last year I managed 46 books, so I thought 50 would be an appropriate goal to like push myself a little harder. And I was like, plus, last year I didn't read it all in the month of June. Like the entire month of June, I just didn't. I was, in some depression. I had some life stuff going on. Yeah, so I was like, oh, like 4 more books and a whole extra month of reading. I bet I could do that. Apparently I'm crazy. Window, thank you for contributing to the Let's Play Game Challenge. Oh, Meganium screams springtime to me. That is a very good guess. Hello, Black Cat Jade. How you doing? I already saw 2 you were working on. Yes, yes. I was levitating, yes. I am working on Leafeon right now, but Leafeon has already been released, so Leafeon is not one of my springtime releases. Leafeon and Flabebe. Flabebe is a good choice. Love me a little flower baby. I feel like if I released Flabebe though, I would want to release all of the colors because there's like Flabebe comes in like 5 different colors. So I would want to like do it justice and like do all of them. Is this a Leafeon? Yes, this is a Leafeon. I'm still on cloud 9 that the littlest goblin got excited they heard me talking. Yes, the littlest goblin absolutely was very excited to hear you on the voice chat the other day. Or yesterday? Yesterday. Oh my god, my days are blurring together. I'm just glad I remembered that tonight was a streaming night. Oh good, I'm glad you're doing good, Black Cat. I'm on my 5th book so far of the year. Oh, that's awesome. I made a Lego orchid today. It was awesome Valentine's gift from my husband. Oh, that sounds awesome. My partner, I got him the Lego tiger kit for Christmas. He had been on the fence about whether or not he wanted to get it because tigers are just big cats, and he was like, I wonder if they put a butthole on it because cats. And then I happened to see a TikTok video where somebody was showing it off and was like, why would Lego do this? And they showed the back end of the tiger and it had it, and I was like, oh, I have to get this for him because it has a booty. So we have a weird relationship. I'm knitting Hedwig, just finished that fluffy. Aw, cute. Very nice. Sunkern. Ooh, Sunkern is a good one. I like that imagery of like, you know, the little, like the seed for the beginning of spring. Sunkern's actually a very close guess for one of them. What did I just do? I did it wrong. That's what I did. But I caught it. And I can fix it. There we go. I only had to frog 1 stitch. We're good. Ah! The thread split. There we go. Go down and then... Oh, seriously? I hope my thread decides not to be... Seriously? How does that even happen? I hope my thread decides not to be mean to me tonight was what I was going to say when my thread immediately started to be mean to me. Trying to jump through that bullshit. Out of there. You don't belong there. Have I seen Perler Buff on here? I have not. I'm assuming by the name that they do Perler bead stuff. Oh my gosh, the back is so neat. Thank you. He makes Pokemon with perlers. Oh, very cool. I don't do a whole lot of work with perler beads, mostly because I don't like having to iron them. But my littlest goblin, who I call Pippin on here, really likes perler beads. So they got some dinosaur, like some 3-dimensional dinosaur perler bead kit for Christmas. And I just found my iron again after moving the other day. So I have to tell them that they can make their little three-dimensional dinosaurs out of Curler's hand. What are you making? I'm working on Leafeon today. The ironing is a pain, yes. Yes. Back before we moved to Maryland, there was somebody else who would do the ironing for me, which was really nice. I could just be like, here, you can do this. I hate this part. And they were just like, sure, because it didn't bother them. I don't know why. Like, why do I have such an issue with it? Like, I don't mind ironing, like, fabric and stuff. Like, if I'm sewing, I don't know why I have such an issue with it. With curlers. I don't know. Maybe it's just like the melty beads kind of, I don't know. Just, I need to get over it for my kiddo's sake. That's what it is. I need to learn to deal with it. Make sure the ironing is perfect on that. We got the same kit and the pieces won't fit together. Oh yeah, yeah. I know I'm gonna have to be like super careful about it, or like, yeah, they won't. If they warp at all, they're not gonna fit together. My husband all my son's Boy Scout badges and counted cross stitch. Ooh, that's really cool. I'm glad that the Scout badges now have that badge magic stuff, so I don't have to sew them on. Because as much as I like cross stitch, I would not like to have to sit and sew or hand tack a whole bunch of badges and patches onto the kids' vests. Cause holy cow, somehow they get so many. Like, I'm so behind on putting all of their patches on, and they haven't even been to a girls or they haven't been to a scout meeting in a couple months because we just moved and we haven't been set up with a new troop yet, which is frustrating, but it is what it is. I keep trying to get a hold of the lady who like needs to help us, and she's like not getting back to me, so that's fun. Blossom. Ooh, Blossom's a really good guess too. I definitely considered doing Blossom. Maybe I'll do Blossom in May. Maybe like May flowers type of thing. If they're too melted, they won't fit together either. Oh, okay. Don't melt them too much, but make sure they don't melt wonky. Got it. Yeah, I think Blossom would be super cute. Kaylee, were you the one who messaged me on Etsy about... No, that was... Yes. I think so. All I see is first names. All I see is first names. I think it was you that messaged me. I will try and get that up for you tonight after the stream. But because you messaged me about that, you you are actually the reason I decided to go. Well, I was already thinking about doing the spring theme because of a different Pokemon, but the one you messaged me about became one of the 4. Because I was like, well, if I'm going to be making this anyway, it fits really well, and it's going to be one of the 4. So that is going to be one of the 4 that I'm going to be releasing. Hello, Squish. How you doing? Love it. It's one of my favorites. Oh, that's awesome. I'm glad they featured it in the latest Pokemon game. They're so cute. doing a little bit of highlighting so I don't forget where I'm at. Is this Leafeon today? It is. We're working on Leafeon today. Baby Skywalker, welcome. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. Switch to black, do a couple more stitches up here. So I still haven't had a chance to run to the store to pick up that really dark green that I need to like fill in some of these little bits. So we're just gonna have to imagine for tonight, but I will try to get over to the store before the next stream. Before my regular live on Sunday. I'm gonna be trying to go live tomorrow and or Friday as well, but we'll see. I don't want to bite off more than I can chew, so I'll do little by little. I mean, hey, that's the way to do it. Like, that's what I do too. You just one at a time, you know? My son loves the Vaporeon. I didn't ask me to make him one, but I haven't decided which one he'd like. Oh, but hasn't decided which one he'd like. Oh, that is super, super cute. I keep meaning to ask my kiddos if they would want one for their birthdays. But older kiddo's birthday is like next week, so we're now cutting it a little too close probably. Plus, like, I've done several cross-stitch pieces for her in the past. So I think more so we need to help her decorate her room. Because we moved in last month, and like her room is starting to the kids' bedrooms are like starting to come together. Like the furniture's all built, all their boxes of like toys and clothes, all that stuff is unpacked. So now it's like, okay, we have to like get their decorations up in their room and stuff like that, so that their rooms feel like theirs. So that's something I want to try and focus on. And also like some of my spaces too, like our box of like, you know, art and stuff like that we hang up on the walls, like none of that's been touched. We haven't hung anything up on the walls. Like the only reason that this thing is on the wall behind me is literally because there was already a screw in the wall, so I just like hung that up there. That doesn't even go there. I just like found it in one of the boxes because it wasn't with the artwork, and so I just like stuck it on the hook, and I was like, there it is. There's a goldfish on the wall. But yeah, it doesn't belong there. That's nice. I know when we moved, it felt good to make our new spaces feel more like home. Yeah, I really, really want to sit down and get all of my Pokemon hoops hung back up on my wall. That's what I'm intending to do. If you're on Twitch, you can see the wall behind me. If you're on TikTok, you can't see the wall behind me. But that's what I plan to do with this wall is hang the Pokemon hoops up there. And that way also like I film in front of this space as well. So it would be, you know, it would make sense for them to be hanging up there. What color are we doing now? That one is a lighter green color this time. Lumi, it's Pokemon time. Yeah. Very nice. You haven't cut anything in 2 days? I'm so sorry. I think I was talking to Akuma about Pokemon Go yesterday, and so I re-downloaded it onto my phone. Turns out that I got a new phone just before Christmas, and I hadn't downloaded Pokemon Go onto it. So I re-downloaded Pokemon Go, and I was playing that here. Turns out there's actually a Pokestop, like, up the, like, if I would just walk to the end of my street. So I might be going on more walks to, you know, hit up the Pokestop that's like right there. And there's a gym like not too far either. It's like also within walking distance. So that's kind of cool. Hi, Lumi. I had bad luck last time. It's bogus. I think the game is rigged. It might be rigged. We'll never know. I've been playing Seasons on PS4 and it's so pretty. I have not heard of Seasons. What is Seasons? Headlands, hello, welcome. Is there a park down the block? There's not. Our house backs up to a golf course. So one of the entrances to the golf course is a Pokestop, and the other like main entrance to the golf course is the gym. So that's why. There's always a stop at a park. Yeah, we don't actually have any like parks in our neighborhood despite how big it is. I think, well, we have one, but it's like, it's pretty far from our house. It's a really, really big neighborhood. Like when I pull into the neighborhood and we are not on any main streets and it's literally just like the little twisty streets going through the neighborhood, it's still 5 minutes to get to my house. Like after we turn off the main street and into the neighborhood. It's a really, really big neighborhood. Lumi, Nana says he got called into work and to please let Dyer and Zeph know. I'm assuming I'm now passing messages from TikTok to Twitch, so there's that. Nana, Lumi says, "Okie." Y'all making me pass messages between you. Glasses. There we go. Oh, look at that. So much better. Alright, what color are we going to do next? I think we're going to do this boring brown color that I don't have. Awesome. Okay, there's two colors I don't have, and that's one of them. Cool, 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 cool. Cool. We will do a different brown then. Nana, get off the phone. If you are driving, turn the phone off. In fact, that goes for everybody. I do not condone you being on my live stream while driving and operating a motor vehicle. I want to be very clear about that. Did you get the colors? I did not. I need a dark brown and a dark green. I have the numbers written down. I just have not had a chance to get over to the craft store yet to see if they have them in stock. So I will likely do that before the Sunday stream. But if I do manage to hop on and do a stream tomorrow or Friday, I probably won't have the colors by then. So yeah, I condone it. Rude. Driving is not more fun when you swerve, Nana. One of these days, Nana, I swear. Inside of the other ear now. Pretty Edge, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. Nana's a bad influence. Don't listen to him. Alright. Insides of the little ears are done. Nana, seriously? Stop now. Make good choices, Nana. Sorry, I attacked the phone. I didn't mean to. Watch, I'm gonna say Poke Kitchen, but I don't have any balls. I don't have any Pokeballs. Poke Shop, 6 Pokeballs. Right? Is that how, I can't buy it. Fine. It doesn't want me to play. Do you cross stitch off the pattern? Yes, I do. I do have a pattern. It's sitting in my lap. You just can't see it on the screen. But yes, I make all my own patterns, and they are available through Etsy or my Patreon. Honestly, if you're looking for like more than like 2 patterns, my Patreon's a much better deal. Plus, I like add new patterns to it every time. But yeah. I am working off of pattern. That was the question. Sorry. I tend to go off on tangents for no reason. I get excited to talk. Y'all are the first adults I've talked to today. Aside from like a super brief call with my partner. All I had time for was to relate one silly story of something the goblin said today. Lumi, I think you can throw more than one Pokeball. Like, you can do Poke Catch a couple different times, if I remember correctly. So, like, if there's one that you, like, really, really want to catch, I think you can, like, throw several. Cheers, Lumi. How difficult is it to read a cross-stitch pattern? I can knit and crochet and read those patterns. So when you're knitting and crocheting, are you reading, like, written patterns in words, or are you reading like the picture patterns? Both. Okay, so if you do picture patterns, you probably won't have a hard time with cross stitch at all. And honestly, like, if you've ever done like diamond beads, like the diamond painting or perler beads or things like that. So here's like a quick look of what the pattern looks like. And each color or each symbol corresponds with a different color, and it tells you over here like what color that is. And so you're just looking at grid, and then you're just matching the grid. So I don't know if that makes sense at all, or if I like said that too simply and like I need to elaborate, but hopefully like that gives you kind of an idea of how it works. So, like that, so it's cool. Yeah, and I highlight as I go. So like, I don't know if you could tell, like I'm using yellow highlighter this time, so it doesn't show up well on the camera. But I highlight my pattern as I stitch those stitches, or like, you know, do those stitches or whatever. That way, like the outline of the shape that I'm looking at matches the outline of the highlighted portion on my page, on my pattern. So it's easy for me to like count off of that to figure out like where to stitch next. A wild tink has appeared. Can you poke catch a tink? Oh god. Dang it, Tink. Tink, Atenshi says hi over on TikTok. Look, I'm responsibly using my fake coins. Are you though? I feel like Nana would say you have irresponsibly used your fake coins if you don't give the babies treats. But then again, Nana was operating a motor vehicle while watching the live, so how much stock can we put into Nana's stuff? Pet treat time! Oh, Clover perked up when she heard the word treat. Oh, okay, hold on. Shoot, I'm supposed to aim the cameras. Hold on, there's one camera. Where's the other camera? There's a pupper doggo. Pupper doggo wants treat. Oh, the kitties heard. Now they're on their way. Wednesday, that's not where you come. Come over here. August. Hi, buddy. You want your treat? Oh, Wednesday's just like, I'm coming right up into your lap. There you go. Oh, dainty girl. Dainty girl. One for August. You gotta take it, but ow. Okay. I understand you didn't bite me on purpose. It was because Wednesday got in your face. Aww. Did you stop funny? You okay? That was it. That was all you get right now. You gotta wait until they do another one. Hi. Hi. You're gonna lick my fingers now because it tastes like treats, aren't you? You're such a sweetheart. Enjoy that her face is now going to just be right in that camera as she tries to figure out how to get more treats. Okay. Repositioning the cameras. Back to our regularly scheduled programming. As she wanders and is probably gonna knock stuff over. You banned me for that. I banned what? Oh, I can't do that on here. I can't boot. Or at least I don't know how to. Cause he was on TikTok. Notice she does that but not the water. Did you do a water? Oh, you did. I'm so sorry. I missed that. I apologize. Cheers. There we go. I did the water. Oh, and window. Okay. There we go. There we go. There we go. I've caught up on the hydrating and the yes. And we gave the babies their treats. She's sitting on the very corner of my laptop now, just like waiting. She's like, excuse me, when do more treats appear? And how do I get them for myself? Don't step on the laptop. You're gonna like turn the music. She is opening windows. Okay, stop. You can't do that. You can't. How did this even open? How does this close? What did you do? Okay, there it goes. Good Lord. Okay. I think I have it all set back up now. freaking me out. Now she's curled up behind the laptop. There we go. It's a better spot for you, miss. All right. I just rhymed. If I did not mean to. Pause to highlight. Something pinged at me. What pinged at me? What pinged at me? What was that ping? I don't even know. I don't even know. Okay. And those down there. Okay. Now we're gonna do a pretty big chunk in this other shade of brown. Leafeon is mostly shades of like cream and beigey brown colors with a little bit of green. It's hard to see what your next. Is it hard to see where your next stitch is supposed to go? Do you count the rows to make it easier? So yeah, I'm basically just counting based off of the stitches I've already made. So when I make my very first, this one I did not grid the back of. Sometimes I grid the backs of my pieces so that counting is easier. But I showed a video kind of glossing over how I do that, like doing it, I did it real fast, but basically I make a big grid on the back. Like this piece, where it's like gridded all the way across in pencil. So it makes counting a lot easier. But this one I didn't. I just made one X right here in the center, and that shows where the center of my fabric is, so that I make sure I don't push this off to the side one way or the other too far as I'm making it. So I have the cross in the center there, and then when you have a pattern, there should be a red line that shows you where the center of your pattern is as well. So that cross on the back there and this cross on the back here, I just count off of that to get started. And then from then on, I'm just counting off of stitches I've already done to do all the rest of them. So I'm going to be starting up here in this little corner to start filling in some of this white. And I just kind of go row by row or stitch by, like, square by square to fill them in. I found the grid on the back to be so helpful. Oh, I'm glad that you found it helpful. Not everybody likes to grid the backs of their pieces, but when I send out kits, I do. I like pre-grid them for people because that's the style that I talk about doing on here. And some people don't even realize that they can grid the backs of their pieces. So I just use regular like mechanical pencil to do it. Other people use like Frisian pens where you can, and grid the fronts of their pieces where you just like iron it when you're done and it like disappears and stuff like that. And there are some people who just don't grid anything ever, like ever. So just everybody cross stitches slightly differently, and like I always say, there are no like hard and fast rules with cross stitching. There's some general guidelines, but even those can be broken. Like there really are no strict rules. So yeah. One of the cool things about cross stitch, like I know like in knitting and crochet, like if you don't make the stitch right, then it's it's not knitting and purling, or it's not, you know, a double crochet or a half double crochet, or like whatever the stitch is that you're trying to do, and therefore your piece is probably not going to come out looking exactly like you want it to. But cross stitching is a lot more forgiving, and there's no order that you have to stitch in, and there's, you know, you get to kind of make it up and freestyle it as you go. So most of the time when I'm stitching, I will stitch all of a single color throughout the whole piece, and then I will do all of the next color. But because I was showing off this center start method on the live stream, where I don't, this piece of green just really wants to come through and be shown on the front, and you know what? You're not allowed. You do not belong on the front of my piece, so please stop jumping through the little holes. So because I was showing off the center start method, and I'm going to be making a video about that as well, I wanted to show how I stitch when I'm using the center start method, because I would have to do a lot of, like, I always start with the color black usually, and so like obviously there's more black in this piece than just this, but a lot of the black is around the edges, and that would be really hard to count off of the center to get all the way out around the edges of the piece without accidentally miscounting at some point. And so when I'm doing a center start where I don't have my big grid on the back of it, where I can count off of the grid itself, I tend to like work my way across a piece, and like, oh, these, you know, like I had just finished up over here, and so like this color is touching squares that I've already stitched. And so I started, because the center is like right in here somewhere, I started with black and like went up, and then I like came in and started filling in and like kind of worked my way across like that. So like I said, there's a bunch of different ways to cross stitch. So, and yeah, exactly. Like Haley said, it's a very forgiving, and it's not that hard to pull. I mean, I will say, okay, it's not as easy as frogging when you're crocheting or knitting. I would say that those are easier to frog. But I think that when you frog with cross stitch, you're learning something as well about like how you choose to place your stitches and what order you choose to place your stitches in, because you have to go backwards in the exact same order that you went across. So there is rhyme and reason to why I choose to stitch, which stitches I choose to make and in what order. But explaining that to anybody else, like, it's like explaining the inner workings of my mind. Like, I make those choices because that's what makes sense to me, and you're not gonna stitch the same squares in the same order that I do, because that's not what's gonna make sense to your brain. So you're gonna stitch in your own order and in your own, you know, kind of style. But in the end, we could have two projects that look identical, even though we had different methods and different processes and even different tools. You know, not everybody uses a hoop stand like I do. Not everybody uses a hoop to hold their pieces. You don't technically need one. I didn't use one for years because I was poor and I didn't even want to buy a $3 hoop. So, yeah. Charlie Quinn, hello, how you doing? I did mine by color too. Yeah, that's a very popular method of working a piece, is going color by color. There are some people who will work with multiple needles, and they will have like a different needle loaded for each color. So they'll already like have all of the threads preloaded on needles, and they will like keep them on the edge of their piece, and they will like go row by row across a piece and just use that needle and then pull it off to the side and then use the next one and pull it off to the side. That method has never made sense to my brain, and I cannot wrap my head around how to like logistically make it work. But there are some people who swear by that and who do like the preloaded needle method, and like that's, if that's what works for you, awesome. it does not work for me. And that's okay too. Like, everybody cross stitches just a little bit different and has their own methods. And so that's why I actually really enjoy talking about the different methods and the different ways that people cross stitch, and showing off different ways that I've been able to do it, or that I've found successful and stuff like that. Because even though the center start is not my favorite method, like, I can still do it, and it's still a totally valid way to do it. So I like showing it off sometimes, and like letting people see how that particular, I swear this little piece just really wants to be on the front, and I just cannot allow you, sir. You're insistent, and it's rude. Stay out of the way. Okay, sorry. Good, you. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Okay. I need to pause for a second, even though I'm going to continue with this color. I need to do a little bit of highlighting because this is a big section, and my brain will start to like get a little scattered if I don't highlight as I go when I'm working on big sections. Okay. So right now I'm like backtracking to cover up some of my stitches, and then I'm going to continue on again. So I'm kind of like reversing just a bit. And then instead of continuing all the way back up here, I'm going to go down a row and keep going across. Oh, I missed stuff. What happened? Pokeballs. How did you use all of those balls and Mankey didn't get in the bowl? I'm so sorry, Lumi. You finished Leafeon. I went to see your last stream to see how it looks, and I love it. Leafeon is my favorite evolution. Aww. Thanks for hopping in, Owls or Pals, and thank you for going back and checking out Sylveon. Yeah, everybody voted that I do Leafeon next, so here we are. And Leafeon is the first one I'm doing of the version 2 patterns that I'm working on. So I'm not quite ready to release them yet. I still have a few more to convert over to like my new style, but this is the first one I'm stitching for everyone to see. Well, okay, that's not true. Abra was in the version 2. I used the version 2 method for Abra. So that one was done this way as well. But I didn't stitch that one live. I stitched that one when I was at my partner's parents' house for the weekend last weekend. Was that last weekend? No, that was last weekend. No. Last weekend, his other sister came to visit. It was the weekend before. Holy cow. Manifesting a Pikachu. Manifest it. Do it, girl. Tell the universe you want that Pikachu. That's what I did with the Vulpix. I was like, I really want a Vulpix. And then a Vulpix showed up. And I was like, there are 800 freaking Pokemon in this game that can just randomly appear. And I asked for a Vulpix, and it showed up for me. And I was very happy. Because, for those of you that don't know, Vulpix is my favorite. It's why, if you're on the Purple app, Vulpix hangs out with me back here, always. I have Vaporeon tattooed on me. Would love to see it cross-stitched and even try it myself. I do have my version 1 of Vulpix available. And actually Kaylee just finished stitching it up. If you join, I mean, you can go to my Etsy shop and see what the pattern looks like, but if you want to see like a finished stitch version, Kaylee actually posted a picture of it on the Discord, and it looks so good. But yeah, so I'm working my way through the evolutions right now. So I stitched Eevee and Flareon in version 1, and now I'm switching over to version 2, so I have to start over, which is just heartbreaking, but also like I am learning what I do and don't like about the process of making my own patterns and like what I want them to look like when they're done. So I'm trying to give myself some grace with just I'm learning what I like and what I don't like, and I've been playing with some color blending. So I will say that like because of that, some of my new patterns are not going to be strictly beginner friendly because they will have some color blending. But that doesn't mean they're really harder. It's just like a slightly different like it's honestly it's easy to do color blending, guys. But it just sounds really intimidating to people. Um, if they've never done it before, because I know I for real did not start color blending until about 2 years ago. 2 years ago, a year and a half ago. I've been stitching for 20 years and I had never done color blending because I was so intimidated by it. And now that I've done it, I'm like, oh, this is so easy. I don't know why I've never done this before. Like, I was scared of that. So I've started playing around with doing some color blending in some of my new patterns. Particularly Leafeon has a few colors that are blended. And what was I working on today? One of the ones I was working on today, which I haven't announced yet, had some color blending in it as well. Does the pattern maker that you have an option to print the pattern? Yes, you have to export it as a PDF first, and then you can print it once it's PDF. Leafeon is one of my favorite Pokemon and my favorite evolution. Aw, that's awesome. Yeah, it was really nice to hop on and see what Eevee or what Vaporeon's gonna look like finished, because I haven't stitched that particular pattern yet. So it was I don't know. It was cool to even though I can see what the pattern looks like, and I did it in the maker, and I can even turn on a setting to see what it's gonna look like when it's stitched digitally. They have an option to do that, which is really cool. But until you have it in your hands or see it actually done, I don't know. I'm always worried that it's not gonna come out right until I've actually done it myself, you know? Halfway through a pattern, I'm almost always well, this was a mistake. This is awful. This is gonna look terrible. What have I done? This is an abomination. And then when I get to the end, I was like, oh no, trust the process. It's gonna be fine. I stress out over nothing all the time. Definitely good for beginners. It's the second time I cross stitched. Oh, awesome. I love the validation. Thank you. I need it. I crave validation, but also I will not ask for it. I'm not good at that. We're going all the way back across this row. You know what, you green fluffy bit? Seriously? You detached yourself from the rest of it to try and jump through there? Can you not? I need tweezers to get this little piece of green fluff out of here. There we go. There we go. What pattern maker do you use and how much does it cost? I use Max Stitch, and I believe it was about $50. I bought it several years ago, so I'm not 100% sure about what it costs now. When I had a Windows operating system computer, I used PC Stitch Pro, but I have not used that in, I don't know, close to a decade maybe, or I haven't bought it. I bought it a decade ago, so I had like the version that they had out at that time, so I don't know how it's changed over the years or if it's any good any longer. I know a couple people have hopped in and said like, "Oh, PC Stitch Pro is not that great," so I'm not sure. I'm not sure. And also, I hand make all of my patterns now, so even though like I am using a program, um, I'm hand selecting all of my color palettes, and I'm hand building them. I'm not like importing images from anything, because I've tried using the image importers before, and from what I can tell, they're not great. They're not great. I'm trying out Tunisian crochet for the first time right now, so hopefully it goes well. Oh, good luck with that. It's beautiful. I have never had the courage to try it myself. It is always so intimidating looking to me. So I really hope it goes well for you. I'm trying to find a pattern maker that I can use on my phone and send to a PC to print. Oh, I have never used it on my phone. I don't have any recommendations for doing it on your phone. The pattern maker that I use on my laptop, and I actually hook my tablet into my laptop to use as a second monitor while I'm making it. So like I have a kind of complicated setup, and then I use my tablet pen to draw the design as I'm doing it. So I kind of do it a little bit of a complicated way, but it works for me. So I do not have any suggestions for an app, unfortunately. Nice. Good job catching the lichen rock. My husband's looking to count a cross-stitch pattern of his paramedic patch. Very cool. I tried finding the picture on Discord that Keely posted, but maybe I'm blind and I can't find it. I think it was in the needlework channel. We have like a whole cross section, and I believe it was on the needlework channel. I'm having terrible luck tonight. I tried for about 6 Pokemon on another stream and I caught nothing tonight. Oh my gosh! That's so frustrating. I'm sorry, owls. Yeah, needlework channel. Fluffy bit. Go away, little Fluffy. I like all kinds of like little fluffy bits of DMC floss, like just all in my business tonight. I was playing Pokemon Scarlet with my son today, and I just love the way he uses Sprigatito. Aww. I was trying to be funny. Sprigatito! So, my kids are 6 and 8. I'm gonna preface this by saying they're 6 and 8. And so I picked Sprigatito as my starter. And Sprigatito has a very particular shaped face shape. And so I didn't think about the fact that my kids were gonna watch me play Pokemon, because when I first got it, I was like, nah, I'm not really gonna let them watch me play, because like, you know, we don't do a whole lot of screen time in my house. And so I was talking to my partner, and I jokingly gave my Sprigatito the nickname Mary Jane, because of the particular shape of its face shape leaf. And then I decided, like, after a few days, I was like, yeah, they can watch me play for a bit. So they were watching me play, and they were like, you know, they can read, so they read the name of my, Pokemon as I sent it out into battle. And like the next day, this was at our old apartment. They were running outside in the courtyard between all of the apartments, screaming, "Go, Mary Jane! I choose you! Hey, I caught you, Mary Jane! You're mine now!" And I'm just inside busting up laughing. Like, luckily my neighbors are all really chill, but like, I should tell them that the Pokemon's name is Sprigatito. Cause yeah, they to this day, like, they asked me the other day, actually, because that was like a few months ago, and they asked me the other day, they were like, "Can we see you play with Mary Jane?" And I'm just like, please don't say that. Please, that's not the way we need to phrase that ever again. And like, they have no idea. Learn from my mistakes. If you're gonna let your kids watch you play Pokemon, don't give the Pokemon sassy nicknames, even if it's funny. So somebody in like the reviews of my Etsy shop took the Bulbasaur pattern and they stitched it on Galaxy fabric, and oh my gosh, I love it so much. I like want to reach out to them and be like, I know that this was made off of my pattern and everything, but I want to buy it from you because it's on this just gorgeous Galaxy fabric, and I love it and I want it for myself now. Like, I don't know why, like, it makes the Bulbasaur pop so much. Like, it's so good. It's so good. Like, I haven't thought about using colored fabrics at all with any of these. I just always do them on white. But now I'm like, should I have been putting these on, like, fun colored fabrics all along? Because, like, maybe. When they grow up, they'll think you're the cool mom. I mean, we'll see. I doubt it. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be the weird mom. Yeah, it's amazing. That little Bulbasaur on the Galaxy print is freaking amazing. I know a couple people wax their embroidery thread before cross stitching. Yes, I have heard that before. I don't have the patience for that, honestly. But I have heard that. I just have to deal with the fact that, like, sometimes my thread is just angry with me or sassy. I think it might have something to do with, like, the level of humidity or the temperature or something in the room, because I notice, like, it happens some nights more than, like, one night, like, all of the thread will be acting up, and then, like, the next night all of the thread will be fine. And it like, I can only imagine that it has something to do with, like, there's not enough humidity in the air, so the thread, like, sticks to itself instead. Like, I don't freaking know. I'm babbling incoherently again. I'm sorry. But yeah, I imagine it's something silly like that. You could offer a bunch of your digital patterns in exchange. If I were the maker, I'd totally go for that. I mean, I feel like I probably don't have enough patterns to exchange for, like, a completed Pokemon, considering you can get access to my entire library of patterns for, like, $12 on Patreon. So, like, I feel like I know how long these pieces take to make, and, like, $12 ain't it. And, like, you know, obviously it takes me a long time to make all of the patterns and everything as well, but also, like, I recognize that, like, a pattern is a renewable resource in the sense that, like, I only have to make it once and then I can sell it multiple times or whatever, whereas, like, a finished piece, you can only make it and sell it once. So it's why I'm pretty cautious about taking on like, I will only take on one commission at a time. And I'm in talks with somebody about one right now, but it's for that same reason, because like they're very time consuming and therefore they're expensive. I've had so many people reach out and be like, I want to commission you to make me a piece. How much is it? And I give them a quote based on the amount of hours that it takes me and the material that goes into it. And they're like, oh, I'm gonna wait for my paycheck. And then like I never hear from them again. And it's never a surprise, so. But like this is not a fast process. And like even a small pattern takes hours of work. Hours and hours of work. I know I had like I had a video go semi-viral so like probably a year and a half ago or so, where I was cross-stitching a Bulbasaur in the like during the video, and that was like part of it, and then it was like 1 hour later, and then I was like, look, it's done, and like people in the comments were like, there's no way that took you an hour, and I was like, no, you're right, it absolutely did not take me an hour. I did that because that's a SpongeBob reference, and I like used the little image from that, but like no, it definitely did not take me an hour. It takes far longer than that to make even little guys, but you know. I'm gonna go eat, but it's fun learning more about cross stitch and then have to try it. Absolutely. I have a link in my bio for if you're looking to learn how to cross stitch to a whole document that walks you through step by step how to cross stitch. So if you're interested in that, that's there. It's free access to it or whatever. So yeah, I know a lot of other people like they'll be like, oh, you just have to give me your email address. Like no, you don't. It's just a freaking blog post. Like. We'll walk you through it. I don't want your email address. No offense. I wouldn't know what to do with your email address if I had it. There's probably some marketing guru in here watching me going like, why would you say that? No, I don't want people's email addresses. I don't want that responsibility. I don't know what to say to people. I'm awkward. Just have the information. Enjoy. Go forth and cross-stitch. Sylveon on the dark gray black background is stunning from your Etsy reviews. There's a Sylveon on a dark gray black background? I have not seen that one yet. It does not, like, I will say, Etsy does not alert sellers very well when you have new reviews. It literally sends you a thing that's like, you have a new review, but then it doesn't let you see it. It, like, is this really weird, like, process you have to go through to, like, get to see the reviews, and even then, like, it doesn't always show you all of them. So that has been very frustrating for me, because like I wanna see what people have to say. Like I want the feedback. Like that would be great. Thanks, Etsy. Make it easier for me to see it, please. I'm gonna have to go search for that now. Dang it. Leafeon is my fave, love it. Aw, thank you. Person posted 4 pics of their works. Oh my gosh. See, yeah, I didn't even know that was on there. Like, thanks, Etsy. The reviewer's name is Lynn. Oh! Okay. I will, yeah. I'll have to, like, go look, track it down. Lumi! You got the shop. Oh my gosh, owls, you seriously haven't caught one yet? Okay, you might be right. The game might be rigged. Somebody get owls some Pokemon. Like stat. We should write a strongly worded letter to the creators. Dear creators of the Pokemon community game, our friend Owlser Pals has not caught a Pokemon all day. This is unfair. We demand recompense in the form of more Pokemons. Luckily I don't miss a Chikorita, because if that happens, I will actually cry. I don't think I've seen a Chikorita come by yet, so I think you're okay. Watching while I organize my craft room and name my bad luck with Pokemon is so I have good luck in real life. I just spent hundreds of safety years for making stuffed animals. Awesome! Very nice. We were unpacking Box Mountain, which we have tackled. We have officially tackled Box Mountain, which is amazing. It took us like almost an entire day, but we did get through Box Mountain. And I was going through one of the boxes, and I found a whole bunch of like googly eyes. And my partner's out of town for a couple days, so I'm really, really tempted to just put googly eyes on everything while he's gone. But like, not stuff in plain sight, like hidden stuff, but stuff that he'll find. Like, I don't know, like on his container of mouthwash or something. Like, so not on like the fridge, but like just like his box of tea that's in the cupboard, or like, I don't know, just stuff like that. So I'm really tempted to just go full gremlin and put googly eyes on everything. But I also don't want him to hate me, and he might if I do that. And you can say you have eyes everywhere. Oh my goodness. I'll tell my kids that. There are eyes everywhere. I can see you. I know everything. But like, him me do it. I'm really tempted. I'm really tempted. I feel like either he'll just be like, dude, what the fuck, L? Or he will plot revenge and not say anything. Like he just won't acknowledge them, but he will plot revenge. And there's like, I feel like there's very little in between with him. I don't think he'd get angry. He might just get very exasperated with me. But also, like, we've been together for like 3 years. So like, I mean, he knew what he was getting into. Like, I feel like maybe he would even be like, I'm surprised you haven't done this sooner. I was watching a coworker's kid once and they used the key to his office to redecorate. Put a bunch of decoy birds in there and hid fake rose petals everywhere he moved. You're still finding them in books. My dad has OCD, and it's fairly mild for the most part. Like, it doesn't like affect his daily life for the most part. It has in the past, but you know, he's figured out some coping mechanisms and stuff. And so for a while, when I was a teenager, my dad had this little row of rubber ducks, just like a mama duck and like 4 little baby ducks in a row, like perfect little row on like his dresser, I think. And my mom had gotten them for him as like a joke, and she had said like, there, now you can keep all of your ducks in a row. And so then it became this thing where every once in a while she would just like go in and like just move one, or like turn a baby duck around, or like flip one over, or like put them in a circle instead of a line. And like, so she would just like go and like fuck with his ducks. And he got so mad. He got so mad one day. He was like, these fucking ducks! And he like swept them all into the trash can, and that was the end of the rubber ducks. But it was really funny for a little while. But yeah, eventually it was overwhelming and it was no longer fun for him. So there were no more ducks after that. That's actually right around the time that I started collecting rubber ducks. Actually, I think he threw them away, and I was like, oh, why did he throw them away? I like rubber ducks. I would have taken them. And then that was how my rubber duck collection got started. And at one point, I had over 200 rubber ducks in my bedroom that were all unique. They were all different. And I don't have them anymore. But what I do still have is I do still have some rubber duck ornaments that my mom got me over the years. None of them are like actually made of rubber. Like they're not like rubber duck. It's not like a rubber duck that someone stuck an ornament hook through. They're like really pretty. Like I have blown glass, like a blown glass globe with like a glass rubber duck hanging in the middle of it, and it's gorgeous. And then I have like this little set of like rubber duck shaped like little glass ornaments. But that is also part of the reason I have the Ducky Dice of Destiny, is because my partner, you know, heard the story about how like I like rubber ducks and how like I used to collect them, but I don't have them anymore. I think I lost them around the time I like moved out on my own. Like I couldn't take them with me. I was, you know, in my I was like 20 and like living with a whole bunch of other people, and like that's not the thing you bring with you. You know, like clothes and a bed are more important when you first move out. So I didn't bring any of my rubber ducks, so I didn't have them anymore. So he got me the Ducky Dice of Destiny. So now, despite the fact that I love rubber ducks, I actually don't have any rubber ducks, but I have rubber duck themed things. A very odd collection, I guess, of rubber duck themed things that aren't actually rubber ducks. But Nana was going to give me a rubber duck, and then I left it at his house on accident. I forgot it when we left. That one. I mean, it happens. It happens to the best of us. Harley, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. like threw that. Why did I throw that? Okay, we're doing that stitch. Hi Beck, how you doing? Find that the mother nature's throwing a tantrum here in PA. You know what? I heard that. We're not getting it too bad here, actually. It rained a little bit today, but like it was pretty mild, honestly. I thought it was going to be worse. Apparently, my partner's out of town, and it's going to pummel them like the day he's supposed to be coming back from where he's at. He's out of the state right now. So that's a bummer. And he's like, I don't know if that's gonna affect the flights. And I was like, I have no idea. We'll see, I guess. So it's just cold, but I suppose that's fairly normal for this time of year. I'm just not used to cold. It's snow today, tomorrow will be 70. What? Okay, yeah, that's just a little extreme. Monday it was like 68 was the high. Jeez. It's like some weather whiplash going on. We have like a chance of snow on Saturday, but it's like not a super high chance, and also like it's gonna warm up enough to start melting off, you know? So the kids are all excited and they hope it snows. They always hope it snows. Oh my goodness. Why do you not want to do what I tell you to do? There we go. Amber Duncan, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. Oh, look at those little eyes. Soul peepers. We have a winter storm warning happening right now here in Ontario. Snow, freezing rain, ice pellets. Yeah, I heard it's supposed to like get like really, really cold, like pretty much everywhere this week. Same here in Ontario. Last week was almost 60 and it's going to be around 3 in 2 days. Oof. That's cold. That's too cold. Leafeon is coming along so well. Aw, thank you. That is the nice thing about not doing like one color at a time is like as it goes, like this section's pretty much done other than the colors that I don't have with me because I need to go to the store and buy them. But like, you know, you get to see like what the finished product is gonna look like before it's actually done. Or at least like get a good idea. Oh my god, those eyes are so cute. They really are. Like, Leafeon has like some of just the cutest little baby doll eyes you ever did see. For anyone who played Arceus, you know what I mean. All the baby doll eyes. And this weather's been like a yo-yo. Texas is lucky we're having pleasant weather for the next week. Nice. I was so sad when I went to my lesson for violin and it was snowing, and when I got out it was raining. Aww, that's a bummer. You're gonna have snow, you at least gotta be able to enjoy it. I've been enjoying, like, for the past couple weeks, like, taking my dog out first thing in the morning, like, listening to all the birds chirping and stuff. Like, I've been hearing, like, new and different bird calls, like, every day that I go out there for, like, the last couple weeks. And today I went out there, and because it was, like, overcast and cold, the only birds I heard were crows. And I was like, that's, like, all we heard when we first moved in was crows. But like slowly it was like turning into like this chorus of birds out there. So I'm like really excited for like actual spring to come and like hear how many different birds we're gonna have in like the forest right out behind our house. So yeah, I'm like really excited for that. See why I hate PA weather. I mean, yeah, my partner grew up in PA, and he kind of, you know, said the same thing. Is you get some weather whiplash. I want spring to be here, but I don't want mud. I'm not ready for muddy paw prints. Oh, that's true. I'm pretty sure our backyard is just basically going to turn into a big mud pit. Like, because it rained earlier today, like, little kiddo Pippin was like, can I go outside and play? And I was like, not really, because, like, it's super soggy out there because it rained earlier. And they were like, I'll wear my rain boots. I'm like, it's not about rain boots. It's about the fact that, like, you're going to tear up all the grass. And also, like, you're going to track mud all through my house. Because I know you. Oh, Leafeon's your fave too? Nice. Very nice. feel like so many people keep popping in and being like, Leafeon's my fave tonight. I love it. I love it so much. Okay, why does this keep... No, fine. Reload. I don't know what you're doing, computer. My computer is like insisting that it's the center of attention right now, and I'm like, no. That was a horrible noise, Clover. Why did you make that noise? Yeah, now August is staring at you too. He thinks that was a bad noise too. Yeah. Yay, you caught one, owls! Very nice. Fine for me because I don't have pets that I take outside. Oh, yeah. Between the pets and the kids. Well, pet. Single dog. Cats don't go outside. Cats are indoor only. Although we do want to leash train them. We have harnesses, and we were putting the harnesses on them when we were still in California. But then, like, when we were moving and stuff, like, we didn't put the harnesses on them. And, like, since we've been here, I don't think I put the harnesses on them again. We should really start doing that again. Because they are very much interested in wanting to go outside. So I'm hoping that if I can teach them, like, if you're wearing your harness, you can go outside, that hopefully they'll be less likely to just try and bolt outside. I mean, they're not too bad. They're pretty good about like, making sure they stand behind the door when we're opening it. So, we'll see. Did the baby kick you out of your own bed again? I'm sorry. You don't want him to cuddle with you. He just wants to snuggle. You don't have to get out of the bed. You could just let him snuggle with you. That is an option. I don't think she believes me. She came over and stared at me like I was going to do something to help her out of her own situation. The only thing I'm going to tell you to do, girl, is let him snuggle with you. That's all he wants. Oh, pet treat time. Okay. This time I'm going to remember. To move the cameras first. Okay. Here we go. Camera 1. Camera 2-ish. You want treats? Oh, Wednesday. Oh, there's a Wednesday. Here's for Clover. Here you go, good girl. Oh, you dropped it. August. Wednesday. There you go. You're such a good boy. There you go. Hi, Wednesday. Do you always have to get in my lap? You take it all dainty again? Good girl. I'm almost out. I'm gonna have to refill that soon. Okay. Good girl. And then kiss my fingers. Sometimes you like to lick the dust off. Hi, sweetheart. Oh, hi, baby. There's no more, hun. I know, you're like trying to hold my hand. Do you want, yeah, you're gonna lick my fingers. Okay, cool. little sandpaper tongue. Aww. Alright. Pet treats for the babies. I have fish and me and my sister aren't messy inside. Nice. Oh, I can't see them. I was like, oh, I'll put the pet food like over here. That's a good spot for it, except I can't see it from my desk, so I can't make sure that everybody's eating only their own pet food and not getting into everybody else's. Because the cats eat the dog's food, and the dog eats the cat's food, and then it's a whole mess of everybody being mad that everybody else is eating their food. Every day. Every stinking day with you. I wish I wasn't allergic to cats. I wish I wasn't allergic to cats too. I don't think I'm as allergic as I used to be, or as allergic as I thought I was. I used to have really bad allergies whenever I went to anybody's house who had cats. But since we've had these guys, we got them when they were like 4 weeks old, I've been okay. Like, surprisingly. I'm having a harder time transitioning to like just the weather in Maryland than to the cats. Because like, if I don't take my allergy pills for a day, I'm not sneezing all day long, like in the house where the cats are. I'm only sneezing like if I go outside, where, you know, the nature and the weather is. So I don't know what the deal is, but I'm just gonna chalk it up as a win right now. Like, yay, tiny kittens. Only they're not so tiny anymore. They're getting big. Wednesday is like crouched under my desk, just gremlins staring at me, waiting for more treats. Clover, I know that's you, licking the baby's bowl. Yeah, I know it's you. Clover, leave their bowl alone. Oh, finish the Pokemon hoop. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna tie this. And then, what are we finishing? Let me see. Alright, that can go up to the side. This goes up to the side. Alright, we gotta finish the Pokemon hoop because Owls Repels redeemed that. That means I need to back up. And push this out of the way. Alright, here we go. Okay, let's finish Charmander, and I'm going to show you the other method that we haven't gone over yet. So with Porygon, we did the method where you like cut around it, and then you sew it shut, and then you put the piece of like felt on top of that. And I stitched it on that time. You could also hot glue it on. I didn't have access to my hot glue gun. And then the last couple that I finished, I've just cut the circle around, snipped the edges, and done the sewing method, but I haven't bothered to like completely cover the back. But this time, as you can see over here, this is too short for me to try and stitch. Anything I try and grab on over here is just not gonna hold. So I'm gonna use the super glue method this time. And I'm gonna have to set this in the bathroom to dry because I don't trust the kittens not to touch it, honestly. But I have the scissors. Wednesday, can I have my lap desk, please? Can I? Yes. Ooh. Can I need this. Can I have this? She's sitting on it. Okay, you can come with it. All right. There's a cat. Your face is like right in the camera. There you go. Okay. Alright, so to do this method, this is probably my least favorite method of finishing a back. But it does work. There's nothing wrong with it. I don't like the smell of E6000. So I'm actually going to trim this, like, basically as short as I can possibly get it all the way around. So I'm going to hold the scissors, like, against the hoop as much as I can to try and snip as close as I can. And this has already been, like, centered and re-tightened in there. So he's, like, he was ready to move on to, like, the actual finishing stage. This is gonna feel scary, because you're like, oh god, if this falls out of the hoop, like, I'm never getting that back in there again. And you're right, it is scary. This is part of the reason I don't like this method. Okay, now I'm gonna go around again and try and get it just a tiny bit closer. And just shave off the little edges as much as I can. Are these the scissors I use for this? I think so. This seems, yeah, I guess that's about right. Do I have other scissors? Where are, hold on, let me find my little red ones. With those, I think I might be able to get a closer. Hey look, Sylveon. And a half-finished Abra. Oh, Wednesday. There's Wednesday in my lap. Hi, Wednesday. What you doing, girl? Girl! I apologize. Kitten, you can't get to the cat treats from, she's like sitting on here hoping to get access to the cat treats. She's like, I'm closer now. Yeah, these will get a little bit closer. Oh god, you can't be on here right now. Okay, down we go. I'm on the edge of my seat without god, that's close. Or how close that's cut. Yes, exactly. And I'm gonna go closer. Because these scissors are, oh my god, there's like confetti spraying everywhere with this. This is a mess. I'm gonna need a vacuum after this. This is the other reason I hate this. Like, this little, like, fluff bits gets everywhere. It's awful. For years, this was the only method that I used. Because I didn't want to stitch the back, and I, like, didn't know a good method to stitch the back. I only knew, like, some methods that I didn't like, because there's definitely more than one way to, like, stitch a back shut. And most of what I had seen was, like, the star method, and I do not like the star method at all. So, like, the star method of finishing a back would be, like, pulling all the pieces, like, close, and, like, even possibly, like, leaving big chunks like this, but, like, pulling it all shut, and then just, like, weaving the stitching all the way across, so it looks like just a big, and I personally do not like that method at all. But to each his own. It's a totally valid way to finish a back. I just don't like it. Okay, I'm gonna brush all of that aside, even though it's on Charmander's face now. All over, gosh, darn it. Okay, this is not my favorite. I use this one, though, when I have not left enough. Okay, let me see if I can get this a little bit closer. Okay, there we go. So I just use E6000. You could use something else. Yes, the star method is chaotic. I know you have dozens of these to finish, so I'm going to keep redeeming them when I have points. I have so many. Okay, if I can get the E6000 open. Okay. Blah. Okay. You have to be really careful with E6000 because it literally starts, like, bubbling out the second you open it. Like, you don't even have to squeeze it. So I just go all the way around and, like, put a little bit of E6000, like, on the actual top of the thread and then on the inner hoop. So I am keeping it from fraying and also gluing it to the freaking hoop. I'm probably going to accidentally get some stuck to the outer hoop as well. So if you're someone who likes to be able to take the outer hoop off of your finished pieces, don't use this method. This is not good for that. And also do this in a really big room. Because, God, this stuff stinks. To high heaven. Theoretically, you could also probably do this with hot glue. Personally, I've never done it with hot glue because I would burn myself. I would absolutely burn myself. I prefer not to use hot glue pretty much ever. I will hot glue. Remember I was talking about like how you like put the piece of felt on the back when you do the stitched method, like especially if you're like gifting the piece to someone, or like if you want it to have like a more professional finish to it. I would use hot glue for that. The only reason I didn't do it on the Porygon piece was because I couldn't find my hot glue gun because we had just moved. And that's gonna get a little extra dollop of yuck up in there. Gross! Yeah, this is definitely not my favorite method, but it is super effective and it works. And I have pieces that I made 15 years ago that I finished off with this method and they have not come out of their hoops yet, so there is that. Okay, so that's it. That's finished. It just has to dry. So I'm gonna go and then like on the front, it's got these little white fuzzies from like the Ida cloth that I snipped all over it. So once this is completely dry, I'm gonna take a lint roller and just lint roll straight over the top of this, and to get all those little loose fuzzy pieces up. But for right now, I'm gonna go run and put this in the bathroom real quick so that my kittens don't touch it, because I don't trust them, like, for anything. Okay. And I'm gonna brush this off into the trash can so that I don't end up with it all over the floor any more than I already have. Hi, August. Can I help you, sir? Okay, I'll put the lap pad back over there. There you go. Yes, Wednesday, you can go sit on the lap desk. Okay, and we're back. Okay, cameras are going back up. And back. Whoa, sorry. That was a little chaotic. And there we go. Back to Leafeon. But yeah, for real, I have like so many that are not finished. But okay, this is what I need. I need this. Okay, this needs to go away. Got there. Whoa, scissors, stay closed, please. Thank you. Hi, Wednesday. Hey, sweet girl. Little chin scritchies. Sorry, I had to pause to give the kitten chin scritchies because, you know, when she demands them, it's like a law or something. It's an imperative. Okay, I was going to do this. My bathroom is going to stink like E6000 tomorrow. Or at least the downstairs bathroom. I'm just not going to use that one tomorrow. My one teacher just to remember 7th grade with hot glue and half of them act like they're 5. Ooh, yeah. Probably not the best idea. August! That's not your climbing toy! Can you get down from there, please, sir? Thank you. think I burned myself at least once out of the many days. Aww. Hello, people of the crafty world. Hello, Chipmunky. How are you doing? Welcome to the chaos. What's the back look like? So, I will show you the back. But I will say, in general, it is kind of rude to ask to see the back of someone's cross-stitch work. And I maintain that whatever the back of your work looks like is between you and whatever god you pray to. And anyone asking to see, and anyone who wants to see the back of your work better be asking permission, because consent is important. But no, I do openly share what the back of my work looks like, and I don't take offense to it at all. But this is what the back of this piece looks like. So lots of little straight lines instead of little X's. So less filled in color blobs, more up, downs, and sides. With little fluffy tails, because I tie knots. I'm doing good. I was diamond painting with Mom, but stopped for a bit. Aw, very nice. What color are we doing next? That looks like a color I haven't done before. Oh, shocker. It's another shade of beige. This one has like a more greeny gold tint to it. Ooh, alpha bracelets. Very nice. I haven't made friendship bracelets in forever. Forevers and evers. Beige. All of the beige. Like, to be fair, other than the 3 shades of green and the black, the entire palette is shades of brown and beige. Like, oh my gosh, why is this one there? Jeez. Like, did not want to come through. Wanted to tangle on myself. Ow! And I poked myself. That was a really good poke. I am usually not that stabby with myself. I somehow got my mom's finger V from Devil May Cry. Oh, very nice. Well done. It's a win-win. At least she's not simping for Dante. I guess. I don't know too much about Devil May Cry, but still. Very nice. Oh my gosh. Give me the string. Not the string. Give me the needle string. This color. This color. Being rude. Good thing I only needed to, like, that was it. That was all I had to do with that color right now. There's actually not too much of this color in the whole piece. Just little bits of it. It's for accent. In a slightly different shade. My mom's putting my sister to bed. Aw, very nice. I showed the model that V was made after and she changed her mind. I mean... Hi, Lumi! Alright. What are we jumping to next? Okay, we're gonna jump to the dark green. Okay, so this is the color palette for this. So it's like, it's all shades of browns and then just like a couple green. Oh, jeez! One of them jumped off. Get back here! You cannot leap to freedom that way. That's not how this works. You will be turned into a project. Alright, which green did I need? The darker green. So this is my middle tone green. My dark green is still at the store. I have to go buy it. Oh, no, Mom, I don't want to go. Right? That's not the way to freedom. Gonna have to try harder than that. Oh my god, I doesn't want to come off my pen. No, you're not getting anything. Yeah. Tina Gleason, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. Do you listen to Lana Del Rey? I was just wondering. I don't know. I don't tend to know artists by their names. I tend to like just hear songs and know them. I'm not good at knowing who sings what, or even what the title of songs are for the most part. I'm really bad at pop culture stuff in general. Lumi, why are you putting Pika Pika and then flames? I'm concerned for your Pikachu. was trying to summon one. Casually spills my drink. Oh, no, don't spill the drink. I did not give myself enough time to make tea before the stream tonight, so I'm very upset about that, like on a spiritual level. I feel like I'm not at my best because I don't have tea. So I apologize for that. Yeah. What is happening with the... Come on. Go. There we go. Thank you. What the... What is this nonsense? What? Come on. See through. There. Much better. Okay. Another shade of beige. But this is a new and different shade of beige. Bet you didn't know that. Actually, is it? I can't even tell. Yeah, I don't think I've used this one yet. Any advice for someone who hasn't done this in many years and wants to start up again? I do have a how to cross stitch like tutorial guide thing that is in the link in my bio. If you want to check that out. I'm also working on like a how to cross stitch like video tutorial series that, to be honest, is going a little slower than I had hoped that it would go, just because I get overwhelmed by life very easily. But I mean, if you've done it before, I feel like, you know, it's like riding a bike. Like, you just gotta jump back in and get your feet wet. I would say pick a small-ish or pattern that's on the smaller side while you get your feet wet again, but try and pick something that you're excited about. So something that you're gonna enjoy, or that it's gonna make you happy when you're working on it. It's pretty much why I almost exclusively stitch Pokemon, is because they make me happy. Do you have any like specific questions or things that you want advice on, like more specifically than that? like super general, probably not super helpful advice that I just spat out? Oh, look, more beige. I have, but I was 7 and 9 with my grandma who lives across the country now. Ah, okay. So yeah, I would say start with that how to cross stitch guide. Hey, you're stitching again. Yes, I am. I feel like I'm always stitching. I'm just trying to start again, but there's so many options. So did you do counted cross stitch or printed cross stitch before? Like, was the pattern printed right onto the fabric for you, or were you doing it like this, where it's just blank on the fabric and you're counting it? You've probably been asked this, but how's the move? The move was good. The move was smoother than we feared it would be, partially because my parents took the kids for that week and then flew them out here, so we didn't have to drive with them, so that was good. Printed. Okay. So I don't do printed, and I haven't ever done printed, so my cross stitch guide will only help for certain parts of the process. But I talk about like how to do counted cross stitch and how to get started on the piece and like things like that as well. So that part's probably not going to apply as much if you're doing like stamped or printed cross stitch. But the actual like how to make the X's portion and like how to tie on and tie off and like things like that will probably still be helpful. So yeah, I'd still recommend it, but just like know that not all of those sections are gonna be super useful if you're doing printed or stamped cross stitch as opposed to counted. That's a blessing and a half. Good to hear. Yeah, it was really nice to not have to spend 5 days trapped in a car with 2 children. And also, like, it ended up being good because we ended up taking more stuff in our cars than we thought we were going to. So, like, we wouldn't have been able to bring all of the stuff that we did with us if we had also had the kids in the car. So that would have complicated things as well. There's a little piece of green fluff. Get out of there. There we go. This green, like, really, really wants to show up. This is why, yeah, this is, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it ended up being really good. And plus, like, the kids had a blast with my parents up at their house, like, in Washington. So, like, that was all, it was all good. Green fluff, get off. But yeah, we've been here, I think about 6 weeks or so now. 7 weeks? 6 weeks. I think we've been here for about 6 weeks now. And so like we have all of our furniture put together. This past weekend, we tackled what we were affectionately calling Box Mountain, which was just like a huge pile of boxes in the downstairs family room that we just we were like, we don't exactly know what room this stuff goes in, or it's like boxes full of like mixed stuff. Like some of it would go in the kids' room and some would go in the living room and like stuff like that. So we just kind of like heaped that kind of stuff in a big box mountain and then ignored it for a while until we were like mentally ready to tackle it. And so on, I think it was Saturday, I don't even know. My days are getting all blurred together. But one of the days this weekend, we tackled the big pile and we defeated it. I think we have like 1 box left, and it's like snow jackets that like, we don't really need them this year because I don't think we're going to get a blizzard, but also like we're not going to put them away quite yet just in case. So it seems silly to like go hang them up in the closets if we're just going to like put them away in a couple weeks. So I don't know. I don't know. There's like a couple random things like that in the box. We don't want to make room for them upstairs if they're just going to be coming right back downstairs to the garage in a week or 2. I guess is what I was trying to say. So the only room that like really needs some more love still is my partner's office. He's set up with like all of the stuff he needs to work, except he's got a ton, like, he's an audiovisual designer, so like he's got a ton of AV equipment of his own, like just personal stuff that he wants to like play with and test stuff out with and like see like if he can do some cool things with it, which is awesome. Like, I'm happy for him about all that, except it's all in, he has like just boxes and boxes of stuff that like it's not organized because we had like 2 weeks to pack everything up to move, and so we ended up just putting stuff in boxes that fit together even if they didn't go together. And so he's just been having a real heck of a time sorting everything out. Like, he's got boxes of books in there that like our bookshelves are upstairs, but the boxes of books are down here, but like there's other stuff mixed in with that. Like, it's just, I feel bad, but also like it's all his stuff, so I don't know where any of it goes, and I don't know what most of it is because I'm not a technologically adept person. So I can't help him with it, unfortunately. So he's gonna have to tackle it on his own. I will be there for moral support and with many, many cups of tea, but it's gonna be a process in and of itself. But that's really the only space that like still needs some love. So yeah, it's been a while since I've been TikToking. This late to catch you on stream. Aw, well, thank you for stopping by and coming to hang out. I've been trying to stream more regularly, so I've been doing Wednesdays and Sundays, but I'm hoping to try and do either tomorrow night or Friday night, or both. I don't know, we'll see how I'm doing. I'm hoping to get like a bonus stream in there this week, just for funsies, for no particular reason, just my partner's out of town for work-related nonsense. So I was like, hey, normally I try and hang out with him on the days that I'm not streaming and hanging out with you guys, but he's not here to hang out with. He's a few time zones away, so yeah, that's kind of the thought, depending on how I'm doing. Yesterday, I was thinking about trying to do it yesterday, and I really wanted to. And I was just so freaking exhausted by the end of the day. I was like, I'm just gonna sit there like a bump on a log and not say anything the whole stream. So that's probably not gonna be fun for anyone. But yeah, today went a lot smoother than yesterday did. Moving is rough. ADHD made my move heck because of procrastination. That, I will say that like ADHD definitely makes the move harder. We did not have the luxury of procrastination, like, because we only had 2 weeks and we were moving across country. Like, when we found out that we got the place and we were for sure moving and we had a move-in date and everything, like, we had already started packing some stuff, but it just got kicked into overdrive. It was like, you know, that last minute rush feeling, and it was awful, and both of us hated it. But we did it, and we're here, and we're settled now, and we're not gonna do that again. But yeah, it was definitely really hard. I think like one of the hardest parts for me, honestly, was like packing a box and then going to label it with like what's in it, and then just completely blanking on everything that I had just put in that box. Like, no idea. Couldn't tell you if it was dishes or clothing or books or, you know, freaking sheets. Like, I have no idea what's in this box that I literally just spent half an hour packing. Cool. So that was really, really frustrating for both me and my partner, who does not have ADHD, and he was just like, how do you not know what you just put in that box? I was like, it's gone. That information is absolutely gone. What is your favorite type of tea? I like black tea that has vanilla in it. Pretty much any black tea with vanilla in it. But I am allergic to cardamom, so if it's got cardamom in it, I can't have it. So I stay away from like a lot of winter blends or fall blends because cardamom gets paired with cinnamon a lot. So I tend to stay away from those unless they specifically list all of the ingredients. It's one of the reasons I actually really want to like get some loose leaf teas and flavors and stuff like that, and like start mixing my own, because I think that would be super fun. But I have not done that yet because I don't need another hobby. Making tea blends would 100% just turn into another hobby of like, what am I going to do today? And then like hyper focusing on it and making 15 cups of tea a day, and I don't need that much tea. Yeah. It's just Peachy. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. Looking great. Reality. Thank you. More like insanity. Funny story about that. So we have so many different types of tea in our house. We have so much tea. I have a video about it. We own a ridiculous amount of tea. And like in a ridiculous number of flavors as well. So a while back, as a joke, I pulled out every flavor of tea that we had, and I made a menu, like straight up, like made it look like a restaurant menu, and I titled it I call my partner Little Fish on here because, you know, privacy. So it was Little Fish's Insanity. Was like the fake name of our fake tea shop that's really just our cupboard. And I like printed it out and like hung it up on the cabinet and whatnot, so that like when people came over, they could like pick their tea based on like they could read the menu with like the little description of the tea and stuff like that and like what was in it. But it used up a lot of ink from the printer, and so the paper got all curly. So I need to like make another like prettier one for him. And he was saying that he would love it if I like painted it onto like a big canvas or like something like that, so it would like we could like hang it up on the wall and like have it be like a statement piece in the kitchen, as well as like, you know, informational. Here's what tea flavors we have in the house, like when people come over. And I had like separated out by like, here's the black teas, here's the herbal teas, here's the green tea. But anyway, but it was really fun. It was really cute. So for his birthday, I might try to actually like paint a like big wall menu thing for him. We'll see. Because that could be really cool and fun and cute, maybe. Or it's crazy and no one will tell me. But I think he would like it. Psycho Witch, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. Print it out and put it in a picture frame. Yeah, that's the other thing is I could also print it on like cardstock. Like I printed it on just like regular printer paper because that's what I had on hand. But yeah, he mentioned it. His sister came over to visit last weekend, and he had mentioned to her like me painting it on like a canvas. And I was like, okay, if that's what you want, I can make that happen. Sure. You can laminate it. I probably could laminate it. But yeah, I thought it was like kind of fun because like people come over and they're like, oh, what do you want to drink? And like we don't have soda, and we don't really have alcohol. Like we might have a bottle of something, but like we don't drink very much. So like it's not like we have a whole liquor cabinet full of like stuff that we could offer people. So people come over and we're always like, do you want tea or coffee or water? Because like that's pretty much it. So like some people are like very particular about their tea, and so like being able to be like, no, it's okay, whatever kind of tea you like, we probably have it or something very close to it. Like we probably have something that you'd like. We keep joking that we want to open a tea shop called TTRPG, which is short for tabletop role-playing game, but we were gonna have it stand for Tea Tavern Read Play Gather, and have it be like a tea shop but also like a community space where people could come and play board games together, and like have like a library of like the like D&D manuals and like stuff like that that people could like borrow while they're there to like look up monster stats and like stuff like that. And it's just like, it's like this little like pipe dream that we have that like will probably never come to fruition, but we like talking about it and thinking about it, and like I think it would be like such a fun little like space to have and like thing to do. Because as it turns out, I like community building. You do cardstock and special markers will look so cool. Oh, nice. That's such a cute idea. I would totally hang out there. I feel like I would go hang out there too. Like, I feel like that's the thing, is like, I would enjoy working there just because I would enjoy hanging out there all the time. But yeah, like, restaurants of any kind are just so hard to open and sustain and have them be like successful. But the first year that we were together, we took a trip up to Big Bear in California, and they had this little tea shop up there. I think it was called the Copper Q, and it was so cute. And we went there at like, you know, like 7 o'clock at night or something like that, and the place was so busy. But like, that's kind of where we got the idea, is because like it wasn't just a tea shop. They also like sold stuff related to tea, and they also had like a kitchen in the back where they taught cooking lessons and like taught you how to bake scones and like stuff like that. It was just like this really cool space that, you know, was used for so many different things. And so like that's kind of what got us in the idea of like, okay, if we had our own tea shop / like coffee shop, because those things go hand in hand, like what else would we personally pair with it? And we're like, well, duh, like we played board games and TTRPGs, and like that's exactly the kind of community space that, like, you know, people are gonna sit down, have a cup of coffee, have a cup of tea, whatever, and like have a community with people. Like, I don't know, it all made sense to us. But yeah, Kazzy, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. I haven't had tea ever in my life. How have you not had tea? That makes me sad. Now I want to send you some tea. We have so much tea. Have you just like never wanted to try it? Like, I have questions. Like, not even like iced tea or sweet tea? But tea isn't alcoholic. You can have tea as a minor. It's just leaves steeped in hot water. He just has yeah, tea sometimes has caffeine, but not all tea has caffeine. There's lots of herbals. My parents don't let me have it. Oh, that's a bummer. I'm sorry. Someday you have tea. Yeah, there's plenty of like non-caffeinated teas as well. My partner and I usually drink those like as our last cup before bed and stuff like that. Because we drink many cups of tea a day. Coffee in the morning, followed by many cups of tea. I'm gonna hop off, but I'm so excited to see how Leafeon will turn out. Oh, good night. Thank you for coming and joining. Oh, and your family's more on the coffee side. I mean, yeah, my family was too growing up, and then now all of a sudden my mom like drinks all of the tea. I love herbal and green teas with honey or rock sugar. Ooh, very nice. My body can't process caffeine, so I have to do herbal tea. Yeah. I used to be like really hypersensitive to caffeine, and drinking more tea like helped break me of that, and now like my body doesn't overreact to it like it used to. Alright. And now we go backward. Finish crossing all our little X's now that we've made a whole bunch of diagonals. Cool, Cat. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. Welcome back, Nana. thank you. Maybe didn't Gardenia. I'm not sure which one you're asking about. It could be that I don't know that one. I thought that was a flower. I think gardenia might be a flower. I have a feeling your autocorrect may have messed with you on that one. DJ, thank you for the cake. I appreciate that. Okay, what is the beeping that keeps happening? I'm getting... Gardevoir. No, I have not stitched Gardevoir. Aside from the evolutions, I'm only going to be stitching the first 150 Pokemon for like my own personal collection. But I am making patterns for a bunch more of them. Right now, I am willing to make patterns for gens 1 through 5. Once it gets into Gen 6, the images I'm working off of, they like change the style of the art and stuff, and it gets a little like weird and funky, and I haven't really figured out a way that I like to like turn the patterns in. Like, I'm basing these off of the original sprites, which were very pixely. And when they changed the style, it's very difficult to convert to cross stitch without making really, really, really big pieces. So I'm gonna need to play with the later generations some more. But I am making patterns for Pokemon Gen 1 through 5. But for my personal stitching collection, it's gonna be the first generation, the first 150 Pokemon, and then the evolutions, because the evolutions are so cute. But yeah, that's kind of the plan. Your art is very creative. Thank you. I have Eevee plushes and my youngest cat steals them as his toys. My kids had all of the Evolution plushes as well, and they like started breaking them, so now they're just in my pile of mending because I need to like sew little bits back onto literally all of them. Like, Vaporeon is missing the tip of his tail, and like one of them is like completely missing like the ruff around its neck, and like they're just a mess. So I need to sit down and like stitch them back together. And I'm not giving them back to the kids after they handled them that way the first time. They're gonna be added to my own personal collection of plushies. But my kids for Christmas actually got me an Eevee plushie this year, which was super cute. And it was up on my dresser, like behind me, until like yesterday. My cat was like knocking everything. My cat was like knocking all the plushes over yesterday. But our little boy cat likes to steal the fox out of the bowl and run away with it. So I have a little fox plush, and he keeps trying to take it. It's not his. He plays with them like they're his babies. Aw, that's so cute. The kittens just got their first like official plush toy that is their own, and it's shaped like a fish, and it has like a battery pack in it, so it actually like flops. And so we like charged the battery pack, and they killed it within like 15 minutes because they were so excited that this toy like moved. But they still really like it, and they beat the crap out of it because, you know, it's prey. What are the chances of my favorite evolution popping up on the FYP? Aww. The FYP knows, man. The algorithm. Oh my gosh, that's my favorite Pokemon. Back to back, people being like, yes, my favorites. Oh, I love it. I forgot that I threw Eevee on the ground. Aww. I have one too, and I love it. Yeah, they're crazy about this silly fish toy. Yes. All right. And with that, it is 10:30 where I am, and that means I'm going to be wrapping up the live and heading to bed, because I do have to teach young children in the morning how to, you know, be humans and, you know, learn stuff. But we actually made some really good progress on Leafeon tonight. I need to wrap up these little bits of thread. And then do my little end of live, end of stream spiel thing. Cause, you know, I has to. It's funny how crazy cats get with new toys, yet scared of a replaced, oh my gosh. So if you are new to cross stitching and you would like to learn how to cross stitch, there is a link in my bio that I put together a how to cross stitch guide. For those of you on Twitch, that is the link. When I say link in bio, that is the link I'm talking about. I have a whole how to cross stitch guide that'll walk you through it. I'm also creating a how to cross stitch video tutorial series here on TikTok. So if you're on Twitch, you can head over to TikTok to see that as well. And I will be talking through not only like the basics, but also like alternative methods. So my last video, I talked about how to do the back gridding method. The next one is going to be how to do this center start method that I've been showing off here with Leafeon. So there are definitely lots of different ways to cross stitch. There is no one right or wrong way to do it. There's just different ways to do it. As long as the piece comes out looking how you want at the end, doesn't matter how you got there. If you would like any of your own Pokemon patterns, they are offered in two places. I do have them on my Etsy shop where you can buy them one at a time, or I do have a bundle for Eevee and all of the Eeveelutions. The other thing that you can do is you can support me through my Patreon. Patreon is actually a great way to get the patterns at a discount. At my $7 tier, you get access to Bulbasaur, Charmander, Squirtle, and Pikachu all the time. They will always be accessible to that tier, and you'll also get access to other patterns that change out every month. This month, the patterns are Bulbasaur and Venusaur. Next month, they're going to switch out to something else. At my $12 tier, you actually get access to my entire library of Pokemon patterns. That's, I think we're in the neighborhood of like 30 patterns so far. And I'm making patterns for basically any of the ones from gens 1 through 5. I haven't figured out a style that I like yet for the later generations. So those will be coming once I figure out how to make them in a way that I'm happy with them. But in the meantime, Gen 1 through 5 still gives me plenty to work with. And at that $12 tier, I do add at least 4 more patterns per month to the library. So considering on Etsy, the patterns are $5 a piece for a single pattern. $12 gets you 4 new ones a month plus access to all of the back catalog that I've already created. It's a great deal. If you are on TikTok and you would like to join the Twitch stream, it is the same as my screen name here, except the O is a 0 on Twitch. If you would like to join the Discord server, we have a wonderful community over on the Discord server. We do a lot of TTRPGs, D&D, Pathfinder, things like that. We also have a pretty robust craft section, so if you are crafty and enjoy doing crafty things, you can share pictures there and tips and tricks and communicate with other people who like doing crafty stuff as well. We also have a self-care challenge that I run monthly, where all you have to do is take care of yourself, like bare minimum. And you get entered into a raffle to get to play at a game night with me. And so this past month we did Raccoon Sky Pirates. I think next month we're just going to be doing like Jackbox or something like that, because that seems like quick and easy. Everybody kind of knows how to play those types of games. So I think that's what we're going to be doing for next month. But you can join at any time, and you can still be entered into it. So it's not like oh, it's the 21st, I have to wait. No, you can join on the 28th and like still be into it. If you are looking for links to the craft stand that I use, I have a link for that in the bio as well. I really need to add the links to this and my bobbin holder and like some of my other little stuff as well. And if you'd like to see recaps of tonight's live, they do get posted over to the YouTube usually about 24 hours or so later. But yeah, I think that's it. Thank you all so very much for joining me here tonight. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I want to do a special shout out to my patrons over on Patreon. You guys are awesome, and you help me continue doing this. Like, I love that this is my job and that this is what I get to do, and your monthly support helps allow me to do this. So I want to send a special thank you to Shirley L, Lynn B, Amber C, Lisa K, and Demented Lemming for helping me do what I love, and being able to hang out with you guys on the regular and continue producing patterns and stuff like that for you. So thank you all for joining me, and I will be on. I go live on Wednesdays and Sundays at 7:30 Eastern time. So I'll for sure be here on Sunday. There is a possibility that I will do a bonus live or two on Thursday or Friday this week, so tomorrow or the next day, depending on how I'm feeling and if I'm feeling up for it. So no promises, but I will try. But if I don't, I will see you on Sunday. Konnichiwa, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. And good night, everybody.